Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. Today, we're going to be talking about what makes sense to us. So that should be interesting because me and Jara and Enzo are pretty interesting in what interests us. So join us and here are our friends. My clicker's not working that great today. Okay, we are clicked in, tapped in, tuned on.
Hello. What up?
How are you?
Doing well. How about you?
So, Enzo, would you like me to explain what we're talking about when we say what makes sense to us?
That's right. Make sense of what you just said.
Okay. um, so I want to emphasize that, my major thing for this show is that everybody is safe here to have their own opinion and belief. And this is a safe place where you can express yourself any way that you need to. And I welcome that. And that's also the way I run my practice. So just to show how much we are into that, like Jara and I, we are best friends. We've been best friends since we were 4 years old. We don't share the same like we respect each other and we have different views on things, and we can still have a conversation. We can still not get angry with each other. We hold space. Then that's really important. So holding space is when you give somebody a safe place to be themselves. And that's also how I run my practice. So it's very important to me. And that's why I said, you know what? Well, actually, it was Jara's idea. We said, you know what? Let's explain the things we believe or the things we think make sense. Well, we didn't even want to say believe because we're not even really sure that. But we do know what makes sense to us. And so we went with that. And just to show how different yet almost sometimes some things we have the same ideas on and some things we don't. But I'll start with mine, what makes sense to me. And so right now in my life, what makes sense to me and what is pretty much like leads me kind of like what just like my passion and what leads me is that this whole planet is going through a shift. So that's what I kind of base everything on because I really want the world to be a better place. It's been hard on me. And so I want it to be better for my son and I want it to be better for everybody. So when I first heard about the shift, I was all about it. I said, you know what? I believe that and I want it to be true. So I'm going to go with it. So the shift is a shift in consciousness. All the things that are happening in the world right now are happening. I think we got a
Your cat's
guest.
consciousness is absorbed with your pizza, I think there.
Oh shit! She was eating my pizza, wasn't she? I'll rewind it and catch you, Maisie. I think we have one of my favorite people here. Hold on, Ben. Is that you? Oh,
me.
Ben, I'm so happy to see you, my friend. I haven't heard from you in a long time.
Yeah, I work straight days now. I was doing shift work, but I'm working straight days now. So I don't have a lot of time like to I'm off tomorrow, but I don't have a lot of time to, be up late at night. But it's great
Okay,
to
I
see
see.
you.
So, and what time is it where you are right now?
What's that, man?
What time is it for you?
Over here, 10:30.
Okay, cool. That's not that
Yeah.
bad.
Same time zone as me.
Oh, okay, cool. So, Enzo, do you know Ben? Ben, do you know Enzo?
No, I don't.
I do
Well,
not
this
know
is my
Ben.
friend
Hi.
Enzo.
How you
He's
doing,
been
buddy?
joining us because he's got great views on stuff, and we love like having conversation with him, and he holds space for us and we hold space for him. So I think you'll like him too. So this is Ben.
That's
Ben I
awesome.
met on Mogion Monster Show.
Yes,
And
sir. Yes, ma'am.
yeah, we just always hit it off. So I just always liked him. I love the answers and questions that Ben gives. I think that you will too. So, okay, so what I was saying, I was saying what makes sense to me, and I was talking about the shift. So the shift is a shift in consciousness, and then that's when my cat started eating my pizza. And so right now, what is happening, everything that's happening in the world is what needs to be happening, because I believe that the good beings in this world and in this whole universe are actually taking out the bad ones. So I believe that right now there's so much coming out of the woodwork, all this evil here, evil there, bad, bad, bad. So what's happening is the good people, the good beings, I don't know if they're people or not. There's people, there's beings, like just the good energy of this world is taking out the bad energy. And so I also did a video that you guys can check out about raising your vibrations. And in the beginning of that video is some stats, and it says like one positive person balances out like something like, I don't know the numbers off my head, but something like 40 million bad energies. So just by you being a good person for one day, you're balancing it out for like 40 million other assholes that can't do it yet. You know what I'm saying? So just one person makes a huge difference. And so I'm rooting for that, and I'm not waiting for it. I believe it's already here. And so I'm living it. And I think that all of the good, I know that the good wins. The good is already won. So that's what I am all about. And that's what I believe. And there's a little bit like more detail into that on like some little side things that contribute to that. Some of them get a little weird. But for the most part, it's all positive.
Hey, Jara.
I agree with you.
Ben!
Hey, Jara.
Yeah, I just
How you doing, Jara?
Pretty good. How are you? I'm excited to see you, not see you.
Yeah, yeah,
Right. I'm excited to see your darkness.
yeah. So,
He's a
okay.
mystery.
So, okay. Do y'all all, I don't want to hijack it, but do y'all all believe in Bigfoot or no?
I do.
Yes.
Yes. Tell me why y'all do.
Who's gonna go
Just
first?
the number for me, it's the number of sightings over hundreds and hundreds of years here
All right.
in North America.
Yep. Okay. Good enough.
Just like ghosts and UFOs and all that other stuff, that there's a lot of people that have seen some really weird things in the sky, in an old house, and out in the woods.
That is true.
There's something to it. You know, do we have that concrete piece of evidence? No, not for either any of those three.
But that could be
Doesn't mean
for
it's not
certain other reasons, you know.
Correct.
They could be alien things. They get beamed up. I don't know. But that's what I'm all about, you know, like just trying to figure out what's going on. It's so good to see Jara and Suzanne.
Yeah,
Like,
that line forms back here, I think, but I think we all would like those big answers. Unfortunately, kind of to Susie's point earlier, that there are people that have really been clouding the space with
Absolutely.
a lot of nonsense. And I agree with you, Susie, that we're kind of going through a churn socially right now. I think the pendulum has reached its apex on one side, and we're getting ready to swing back the other direction, because it's just.
Do you really think so?
I do. It's just
For what
lot
reason?
of people. It's a lot of people like I'm mostly a UFO guy, but I believe it all.
I understand that.
On the UFO side, and see if this doesn't ring true with whichever side, whichever thing that you like to watch.
Oh man, I'm UFO. I'm all of it. I'm all about all of it.
Well, since you brought up Bigfoot, let's see if this sounds familiar. On the UFO side, there's a ton of people that are just trying to make a buck, and they're making up crazy stories. They're
Absolutely
telling lies. There's no evidence to what they're saying. All these big grand claims, to the point where they're getting Congress involved, saying, "Oh, we got UFO programs that."
Yeah.
that are backward engineering programs, and they've had it for years, and they're doing, oh, okay, cool. You got some pictures, or tell us where these places are at. It's like,
Mhm.
it's like, wait a minute. You can't drop a
So
bomb like that and then not say anything about it. All those same stories. I'm a big Art Bell fan from back in the day. You can
yeah,
go
me too. Me too.
any random week of programming in Art Bell and hear all of those same exact stories. There was all at some point during that 7-day period, someone on there was saying, wow, the government's got UFOs and they got a backward engineering program and they've been capturing craft and dead bodies, all that same stuff 20 years ago. To suddenly think that you can come up onto the scene and say the exact same stories with no evidence,
Right.
That's not going to work anymore. We're ready to move on, and you are not the one that's going to lead us. So that I would think you've heard similar stories or see your own thing in the cryptid world, in the ghost side of it, where it's kind of the same thing. It's kind of like that all over. Even
No, not really. Not really.
oh no,
So
no.
to juxtapose that, I listen to a lot of podcasts where people don't want to have their name mentioned, and they are going to talk about like things they've seen, and that's the most compelling things to me.
Sure.
So they have no reason. They're not going to gain fame or stardom from it. They'll just just tell what they've heard or saw, and
No, I agree with you.
that's the most compelling thing to me. And I've seen a lot of that, on a lot of sides, like Bigfoot. I mean, even something that's crazy as Dog Man. I've heard a lot of that. But the thing that ties it all together is that these people making these crazy accusations about these cryptids, they all see the same thing. Right?
For the most part,
Well,
yeah.
most of them.
It
Well, I
depends.
believe in
There's
Bigfoot because my parents saw Bigfoot. So
Really?
that's initially why I believe in it, and then I believe there's a little bit of truth in everything.
I want to hear that.
My parents were they were being inappropriate in a car without any clothes on.
That's why you got here.
Oh no, well I'm adopted. Maybe that's why my brother got here.
Oh, you
Well,
broke.
that is why I got here, probably, but not from
somebody somewhere that happens.
Right. So my dad, they told me that they thought they saw a tree. They thought it was a tree that was walking towards them, and that it was definitely like huge, and it was dark, and they didn't have any clothes on, but they were so scared that they like got in the car and took off naked, like driving down the road without any clothes on at all.
Oh my God, for real?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then so they were telling their friends, the Chadwicks, Susie?
Yeah.
Do you remember the Chadwicks from Flagstaff?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They were telling their friends, and their friends actually saw it also.
Wow.
Oh, shit.
And then, so they also, when they were deer hunting another time, like years later, because my brother was born, my dad said that they saw a footprint that was like, it was like 14, I don't know, he said it was like 14 to 18 inches long, and it was just one though, it wasn't two. In the mud when they were deer hunting, they saw it, and it was like it was barefoot, but it was huge, he said, and it was just 1 foot, one print though. They didn't find the other one, or any others. And then the same. There's a lot of people that have seen it, and I believe that there's all kinds of places for Bigfoot to hide. Oh my God, there's so many places to hide, you guys.
Yeah,
so many places.
You're right about that.
People have lived in the crust of the earth. I'm telling you, like. There's people that have lived like literally like in the earth. We are a version of ant people. There are some ant people somewhere.
Wait.
Because
see what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know about that one.
They're
I
not
don't know about that
ants.
one.
There's
I don't know,
I
I
say
don't know
ants.
what that means either. But
They're not ant people. Like let me re-go there. I don't.
Right.
It's not like that.
I
mean, they're
understood what you
actual
meant.
human
I've heard that
beings
about them.
that just like Petra, for example.
Oh, okay, I get it.
And they're still not even exploring that. Like, why aren't I don't understand what is the problem. That city
Petra
to
Glenn?
me is
They don't want us to
amazing.
know that.
Even
sir.
it's like why? Well, it's a tourist attraction, but they're not like it. It's like every time if you Google Earth that place, I'm telling you, everybody should try this. I'm telling you, you'll get stuck on it for like hours. If you Google Earth and look at the street view of like places like Petra and like the Grand Canyon, because they have a lot of it mapped from people that went there and then uploaded their pictures or whatever. So I can't believe that stuff is crazy. And there's all kinds of room for people that could be in the like just the Grand Canyon could hide, God, so many people. So Bigfoot could be, they could be where their habitat is inside the mountains or in the crevices and places that we don't live. The thing that boggles my mind about Bigfoot, though, is why they're never really seen in like packs or more like there's not, so maybe that's the type of thing they are. Or Susie has
I
an
know.
answer.
Yeah, I do. So for me, I believe Bigfoot is an interdimensional being, and they don't find them here because they don't stay here. They go to another plane, dimension to another plane. So
Can you
there's,
I think
explain
it's
to
actually
me?
possible that they might have got
dimensions.
stuck here or something too.
There's 12 dimensions.
They just
so
come.
science has proven that we have a quantum world. So science has proven that there is dimensions. So I believe they have their portals. They come in and out whenever they want.
They just come here to poop.
Right. They just come here to like laugh at us for being such fools.
Right?
So Susie,
That is something that I think is kind of a recurring thing for all of the paranormal things, all your ghosts, all your cryptids, all your UFOs, where there seems to kind of be a little bit of a trickster element to
Yes.
a lot of it, where
all of them.
you can go out there with every camera and electronic device known to a man to a hot spot, and you won't see squat. When you pack it all up and you've got it all loaded in the car, getting to the drive away, Bigfoot walks across in front of the headlights, the UFO flies away, you see the headless horseman or whatever it is. It's
Susie,
Sorry, I just
as a stupid ass Cajun, right? Can you explain the interdimensional thing?
Yeah.
I'm a stupid ass Cajun, right?
Oh,
Yes, I'm from South Louisiana. Really, really stupid guy. I'm a Cajun,
So
right?
dimensions. Time. Okay, so dimensions. We here on the planet Earth we were in the third dimension. Now I believe we're in the fourth or fifth dimension because the shift is happening. But like if you didn't believe in the shift, you would know that the Earth plane is the third dimension. I believe so there's dimensions and they go up, and I think there is some that go down too, but they go up. Okay, so as the dimensions
So do you think dimensions are all
these are
on top
different
of each other?
things,
Like whatever dimensions there are.
Yes, they're all on top of each other because it's a quantum physics thing. So quantum physics is about time and time and space, how it works together.
Yes, ma'am.
I believe, I'm not sure, might not be right, but I believe there's 12 or 13 levels of dimensions, so they're all levels. So
I think
what we call heaven,
14, and we only conceive of 3 of those. So you're four really. You've got your length, your width, your height, and time being the 4th one that we can sort of conceive.
That's a pretty good explanation, man.
And there are other dimensions outside of that we just can't sense.
Yeah, I got that.
And if you were to imagine something lower, like a 2-dimensional creatures, where they're just flat, they have length and they have width, but they don't have any height, and they're running around doing their little thing. And if you were to see them, just put your hand down there next, into their 2-dimensional world, all they're going to see is just the outline of your hand. That is intersecting their two-dimensional world. They're not going to see the rest of you that's, you know, in this entirely different dimension. That's kind of like, I don't know if that makes sense or not.
Yes, it does. I do understand what you were saying, but I don't understand the other dimensions.
Well,
I'm well aware of those that you were talking about, but I don't understand the other dimensions.
The other dimensions is where the is like the ether, like where the spiritual or other worldly beings exist.
Yeah.
So
the way that we use
seven,
the word
I believe,
dimension is it can get confusing, and I get it. It also gets confused because of movies and TV with the many worlds theory, where it's not exactly another dimension. It's an entirely different universe, but there's times where we intersect with the other universe where you would get, you know, those stories of weird portals opening up and seeing a cryptid walk out of it, or people that are lost out in the woods for, you know, some of the, you know, the missing 411 cases. That's one of the theories, is they're slipping into someplace else.
Yeah, like portals, but I mean, where do they go? So I've heard my brother is really really smart guy. He said that there's just unlimited consecutive time frames going on right now. So like any second you can slip into a different one and different things will happen in your life.
timeline.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like me and Jara will be
has to do with
married
it.
one day,
Mm-hmm.
and
Could be.
like the
If you
next
got-
day.
every decision, every time you make a decision, you go to a different point of your timeline.
I kind of like that.
Wow. Okay.
And then another dimension, you're walking naked out of the woods, scaring her naked parents.
I want to know if there's
So
another
it's-
one that I have.
What's that?
we lost.
Oh, she got
All right, right.
What'd you say, Jara?
All right, you're time traveling and changing dimensions.
Yeah.
If you can hop dimensions,
I
time
said
travel's easy.
time traveling and changing dimensions. If you,
Yep. And you
did
can.
that
So
and you went
it's like
back and
every,
I think my internet.
every decision you make changes your timeline. So there's, for every
That's
decision
true.
that you made, the other decision that you made, there's another timeline there of you doing that decision.
Wow.
That's a little bit crazy.
That is amazing.
That's a little bit.
'Cause
But I do believe it's true.
Well, that's the theory with alternate timelines. Is basically every decision you make, if you're driving down the street and you decide to go left, then that leads down that timeline, that universe. But in some of those dimensions or timelines or whatever, universes, whatever you want to call them, some of those you turned right and had a totally different thing where you might have gotten in a car accident, or maybe if you went left, you went by the shop and bought a lottery ticket that won. Or there's a zillion different, and every different variation is another splintering of how that would all work. So there's really an infinite amount of timelines, most of which, if you were to somehow slip through something and go into them, you wouldn't even notice.
So I got another question.
Yeah.
Do you think that intuition is something telling you to stay on a certain path?
Yes. Your intuition is a cue from your body, your mind, and your spirit to do what is best for you, to do what is your intuition has a prime. It's the main thing it wants to do is keep you safe and keep you happy.
So it's telling you not to go on this different path. It's just telling you this is where you need to go.
Yeah, like when you get that bad feeling, say you're doing something and you're like, you get this bad feeling that you shouldn't be there or this isn't right for you. That's maybe could be something somewhere you shouldn't be, or somewhere maybe it'll change you off of the timeline that you want to be on.
That's just a survival instinct, really, for me, where if you're getting bad vibes about a certain person or a certain place, where you gotta get out of there, there's probably other inputs that you're just not even thinking about, that your brain's processing. It's like, that guy's kind of shady over there. That guy's got a crappy car, and he's circled the lot about 4 times now. This may be a bad place to be hanging out. Maybe I should move somewhere else,
Gotcha.
or whatever the scenario is. So that's those little things that you're picking up.
That's telling you to stay on this timeline instead of jumping to the other one, right?
Well, that's your every decision leads to a different timeline. So that decision making would be, something's wrong with this one. You need to do something different, quick.
So you think that if I would have made a different decision right now, what's that, Suzanne? Susie?
No, I was listening to you. If you make a different decision right now.
No. Susie was a little choppy there.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead, Ben.
Yes, Ben. How was it? What happened?
No, okay. I was just asking if I would have made a slightly different decision, it just shooting me off in a different trajectory to on a timeline that's already established.
It's actually created with every decision that you do. It's sort of, they call it the butterfly effect, which
I understand. I do understand.
If you're familiar with that one, pretty much goes that when a butterfly flaps its wings in Africa, it creates just enough different air pressure, which just increases the isobars, the weather-wise, where it ends up being just enough pressure to drive a weather system over the edge where a hurricane is created out in the Atlantic and it slams into Florida, let's say. All because this butterfly flapped its wings at just the right time. So the tiniest changes everything.
Yeah, gotcha, man. Yeah. So, y'all believe in what are demons?
I don't know anything, guys. I'm just confused.
What's that, sweetheart?
I was just gonna talk about that. I was gonna say it is also possible that Bigfoot could be a demon, and here's why I say that.
I just read your mind.
I've been reading the Apocrypha, and yes, and the
wait, Jared, tell us what the Apocrypha
is. And second book
that might not know.
Adam and Eve, and it talks about Satan and his hosts.
Satan and his oaths?
The Apocrypha are the lost books of the Bible, the ones that are included.
Yes, yes, ma'am. I know what you're talking about.
There's a whole bunch of them.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
But Satan and his hosts, and so I looked it up. Yeah, so they were according to the first book of Adam and Eve, and those two, the first and second book of Adam and Eve, puts a lot of context into things, like a lot. I was like, oh, why don't they explain that in the Bible? Like that would make so much more sense.
What did they talk about?
Yeah, she went out. Dang, she's been telling me, and it's really interesting. There's things in there that we never knew about.
Really? Why is your internet so bad?
In the Bible. Yeah, that I don't know. Like ours too, mine too. Everybody's right now. It's not even windy outside. But what were you going to say, Van, a second ago? Before Jared started talking about the Apocrypha?
Well,
you asked about demons.
Yeah. So.
Okay, you're asking about demons. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was asking about.
I have an opinion on that one myself, which is just one of my dumb theories. But for thousands of years, we've got hundreds and hundreds of stories of creatures that are real, not real.
Yeah.
Out in the woods or come from the sky or out of the whatever that mess with us. That some of them are really bad, some of them are good, a lot of them are tricksters. Over the period of time, we called them fae, we called them brownies, we called them, pixies, elves.
Yeah, I'm following what you're saying. I know where you're going, bro.
I feel angels and demons would fall under that same umbrella of just a name for something that's been around for thousands of years, or the whole time, mankind has been around, that's stopped in and checked in on us, where, a lot of alien abduction stories are not positive. They're, people are grabbed against their will out of their car and had medical experiments performed on them and things like that. And are just, it's an awful time. Sounds kind of demonic. But we have other stories of people that get into full conversations, and they
What
might take
Satan
them up
and his
for a
hosts
ride.
do to Adam and Eve is
Crap. Dang it, I want to. She's got something to say.
Yeah, I want to hear
Yeah,
what you got to
I've
say.
heard of some of the good experiences, like some of the ones where they like recognize them as family, or
Like demons and
like
aliens
the
and shit.
aliens, yeah, because like a lot
I
of
could
people
say
believe that
I could
the
say
aliens
shit.
are us pushed out, like the aliens are us from the future, are human beings from the future, but they are way far ahead. But so like right now, and with the
Mhm.
quantum theory, everything is happening at the same time, so there really is no past.
So hold on.
Like
So
time isn't
okay,
linear.
yeah, okay. So if aliens are us from the future, why don't us from the future come back and be like, all right,
Help us.
or is that what's going on? Y'all
That's what's
y'all
happening. Yeah,
fucking up.
they're helping us. They're
Yeah.
helping us so we don't turn out like them.
Okay.
I personally, I don't really buy that one. I know that's an option. It's one of the things that a lot of people say, but going back in time, when you start bringing time travel into it, things get weird fast.
Yeah,
Now,
because you mean why okay, so if there's time travel, why is there Hitler? You know what I mean?
sorry about that, guys.
Hey, that's no problem.
Right, because somebody would come back and take him out before you did all that. Is that what you mean? Yeah, I guess you're right.
the only option would be if time travel is real and somebody would go back in time and kill Hitler. That's the classic. Is
Yeah,
someone else
exactly.
that's someone else even worse than him comes up instead during that
Right.
timeline where you don't have a Hitler, and it's even worse. In that time, maybe because Hitler was such a nut, anyways. Maybe he held back to where the Germans didn't invent. Germans invented the nuclear bomb before the U.S. and they
Well,
started
yeah,
checking them out on those V2 rockets that they had.
they pretty
Things
much
like that.
did. So I
Yeah,
have a
they,
conundrum for y'all.
Okay.
Would you go back in time and stop people from killing Jesus?
That's a
no,
good question. That's a
I
great question, Ben. That is a valid
No.
question.
No, I would not, because God meant for that to happen.
Wait, what?
Can I answer
Go
that
ahead.
first? Because I'd like to answer that first. Can
Yes,
I
ma'am.
answer?
Yes, ma'am.
I would not. I'm not, and the reason I wouldn't is because in the book of Adam and Eve, well, I shouldn't probably open that can of worms, actually. Well,
Yes,
okay, so
ma'am.
here's what it
Please,
says
let's
in
do.
the
No,
first book of Adam and Eve.
Safe
God
place to
is
open worms.
telling
Please
Adam,
open it up.
so
Open it up.
Adam and Eve.
That's what we're here for. Please.
Okay, so Adam and okay, so Adam and Eve, they die many times. Like after God puts them out of the garden, they die many times. They even kill themselves, and He brings them back. And Satan tries to trick them, and he tricks them so that they die. Like his goal is to like get rid of the humans so that him and his hosts can have Earth. And he tries to trick Adam a bunch of times, and Adam dies, and then God brings Adam back. And the reason that I would not go back is because God tells Adam that he's going to come to earth in flesh, in a fleshly form as Jesus, and that because of this covenant that he made, or this promise that he made with Adam, and
Really?
because of things that Adam did, and Satan, it was Satan and his demons that stabbed Adam in the side of his
God.
Gosh. Wow, that's some stuff I've never read about. Like, that's some stuff she's reading in the Apocrypha. And so that's pretty
Yeah, I've
crazy
never read the Apocrypha.
Somewhere in the back.
So interesting.
It
That
is
is
so
the most
interesting.
interesting shit I've ever heard. That's really
I know, right? I
interesting.
want to hear more. She
But
just texted me and said, "Dude, she does not want me to say this."
Wow.
But as far as going back and trying to save Jesus, that was his whole point for forgiving the sins of all of mankind, was to die on the cross for everybody. Where he goes to hell.
Exactly.
There were all of those people that were stuck in like purgatory and people in hell, because you either had heaven or hell.
I'm on my phone now. Maybe that'll work better.
Cool.
Isn't that
Yeah, I
crazy how our
want
phones work better?
Yeah, I know. And then every time I try to talk about Satan, he's like, nope.
I can hear you great now. I can hear you perfectly.
They tell Jara, not today, Jara.
I know. He's
Right.
like,
Not today,
I'm
Jared.
only saying what's in the book. I'm not, just every invisible people that are around. I'm saying what's in the book. Everybody can read it for themselves. So God says that he's gonna come back and he
Really?
says the things that Jesus is gonna go through. Yeah, like very accurately, like to where I was like, wait a minute. And then like he says that he was gonna, like he tells him at one point, and I screenshotted so many pages of these, you guys, like, because I want to be able to go back and look at it. I'm also a catastrophist, and it talked about the Phoenix cycle in there too, which is freaking weird. But anyway, so yeah, he says that he's gonna come back and that he's supposed to die exactly the way that he did, being stabbed in the side. That was a like a nod to Adam, because Satan killed Adam like that. And one of the times that they were murdered after they were put out of the garden, Satan killed him, like while he was trying to pray to God. Satan like stabbed him in the side with a sickle.
Wow.
And so he was like, because Satan did this to you, when I come in the flesh or whatever, I too will, like, I'm probably way terribly quoting that, so please don't hold me to how exactly that goes. But yeah, I was like, wow, that's interesting. So I would not, because I feel like it's part of the plan. And I just read something too that makes me feel like, I don't know, spirituality and technology could be the same thing, possibly. I don't know. God sure does also sound like he's talking the way that he talks. It's like he says how he's like pure consciousness, and that everything that is in the world physically was brought from things that are invisible. So like consciousness turning things into matter, basically. I don't know. There's a lot of things that make sense to me about things that I've read in these that don't have anything to do with religion, right? It's just like, if I think that the world, they are the ones that put religion on God accidentally, wrongly, or something, because I don't think it was supposed to have to do, like, specifically be a religion. I think it's like, I don't know, it's like an owner's manual. And like, this is the game that we're playing. And we found these books that are, I'm just going to say, in my experience, the Bible knows that I read it somehow, because I don't know. It's weird. It's a spiritual book that's alive or something. So I think it's like an owner's manual. Well, and I look at it like, whether because I'm not a religious person. I do believe in God. I don't think that I really believed in God as much as I know about now. I really, really do. But I think that this place that we're in is a place that we're in. And if there is a book that for me seems to have stuff in it that has made sense and gone along with things that I know and from my experience, because I don't like going off of other people just solely. Just because everything has to make sense to me, or else I just can't. So I think that the Bible is a book that is important to read, whether you believe it or not, because it's got information in there that I guarantee that we all need as players in this game. because it's obviously a book that goes with this like station or whatever that we're in playing this game. Because there's like stuff in there that's uncanny that it can't, like, I don't know, there's no way to fake, like, you can't do that. You can't fake that. Nobody can put things in there like that that hit my knowledge in a way that make me go, whoa, that's truth. You know what I mean?
So who do you think the writer is?
I think they were all that they were all writers, and they were all, the Bible was written around, like, all the New Testament and the Old Testament, I believe, were written around the same time, and everything is written after the fact. So I think they were inspired, but I think that also there's lots of in the Bible that is not the word of God, and it is, I think, is like the other guy. So I think that everybody has to use their own, like, I don't know, which mine doesn't feel like it's very accurate right now because I'm confused like a mug. I'm confused.
Like
I don't know where we are.
Who do you think wrote it?
I don't know
Who do you
who
think
wrote
all
them.
those things?
Do you think the writer? Do you think the writer is well, in my mind, and I could be I really could be annoyed about it, but I think that religion is made to subjugate.
I agree.
I think that
I do too.
I think that maybe like there are truths out there, but I don't think that we're going to get them from 2,000-year-old books that somebody.
No, we're not. I agree with you there. Not truth. No, I think there's nuggets of hints of clues of stuff that just leads you to something that makes you more confused so far. That's how it's worked for me.
Yeah, it's very confusing.
I always viewed it as more of a parable book that has a lot of this. If you want to have a good society, follow these rules. And as a matter of fact, we even have this cool top 10 list of things not to do or to do.
Well,
I agree with you, buddy. I agree with you, buddy.
It's been used for all kinds of terrible things. Something interesting that I did find too when I was doing some research for last week is because I feel like part of the Bible happened here in the Americas or something. There's a part of our history that the world has been taught that is missing, and that is from this part of the world, I think. And like, for example, they sit here and they talk about the Grand Canyon being like billions of years old. Then how come it's not on any ancient maps of the North Americas? It's just not. There was an ocean like where I'm standing right now. There was a Red Sea here. It was called the Red Sea.
Baby girl, they just didn't discover it yet.
Huh? No, it wasn't. But it was underwater. You think it was underwater then?
No, they just didn't make their way over there yet.
Oh no, they did. They have maps, but the Grand Canyon's not there. The Arizona is underwater. California, in some of the maps, California is an island. It's not even attached to the rest of the United States.
The ancient maps?
Oh, I stand corrected.
Yeah, I have them. I'm on my phone now, but I downloaded the maps because we were going to do that show last week, Susie. But yeah, there was a sea here that was called the Red Sea, just like the Red Sea, that Moses parted.
Well, they named two seas the same name.
I don't know. I didn't even know there was a sea here called the Red Sea, but it's on several maps. From
that's the one that Moses parted to escape.
Yeah, you think that he I don't know. I'm not even going to blaspheme like that.
I just know that Petra and the Grand Canyon have way too many similarities for them to not be related. And did you also know that Pocahontas, her last name was Pharaoh? Did you know that there were Native American tribes? Yes, they.
All right. How did you find this information out?
Huh?
How did you find this information out?
Well, from that piece of information came from Michelle Gibson. She does a podcast. She was doing. So she's like me.
Pocahontas' last name was Pharaoh.
Pharaoh. Yes.
Okay. What does Pharaoh mean?
She said that she talks about that in the video.
Okay. So PHARO. Is it like Pharaoh, like Mia Pharaoh, or is it like Pharaoh?
No, Pharaoh like the Egyptian Pharaoh.
Okay.
Like a royalty Pharaoh.
And then there in like 1908 or something, they did say there was some people that said that they discovered a city in the Grand Canyon, and then I have the ad that originally ran, but then it was like taken back, and the government and the Smithsonian said that they didn't have any scientists that worked for them that did that. But I don't believe that, because the article is very, like, it goes into detail about this cavern that they found in the Grand Canyon and the different tools that were in there. I just think that there's if you look at the Grand Canyon, there's like so many places that look like it's rock cut architecture, just like in Petra. Like, I even have found the same cutout, like on Google Earth in the Grand Canyon, that's like where the canyon wall, there's pieces like knocked out, but it was like perfectly symmetrical. So I think it's a cutout. Well, I found the same cutout in Petra on the canyon wall, the same shape. Like, that's weird.
Yeah, that's weird.
And, you know, they do have a part of the Grand Canyon where they don't let anybody go there, and you can't even fly. The airspace is restricted.
So you think
Quite a
that's
few
the
areas
spot
like
that, you know, I mean, you could be right for sure.
I think there's some kind of relation, or there's some kind of maybe cataclysm that happened that we don't know about, that wiped out an advanced like culture that was over here. And I think that
And Arizona?
I think that there was infrastructure already here. It wasn't where like they just came over in the 1700s and they built everything. I don't think it was like that. I think they found a lot of stuff, and then they hid it, and then they destroyed a lot of things, so that they could like use whatever, or hoard whatever. I don't know. Stuff just looks really weird, and there's
control us.
so
But
much.
that's where it kind of connects to what I believe, Jara. Like right there where you're at right now is where it kind of connects to what I believe. So like I believe that there are a lot of secrets kept from us, and those books in the Bible were kept from us because we are kind of greater than we've been taught. Like, human beings are capable of way more than we've been taught. If we find out these things, we'll realize how powerful we are, and they won't be able to control us. So there's definitely like people in the world that are part of a group that are like suppressing human beings and mankind. That's what I think.
Intentionally dumbing us
the
down.
Government is definitely one of them.
That's
yeah.
Those controlling agencies, which includes religions and governments and things like that, which the theory behind it, or at least what
I'll be
people
right
say,
back, guys. I gotta check on my mom.
is that humans can basically, with a clear head and good thoughts, can manifest anything. Can basically bend reality with their minds. And there are people in this world that we're just not there as a culture yet, as humans, because somebody would be like, great, erase all of these cities that I don't like, which that affects other people. And that's, so you can't really do that. You can't really let that information out because we're not mature enough.
Baton Rouge.
That's right. That jerk. I'm gonna go and erase everything that guy from existence. That's why they have to kind of assuming that this is what we're talking about, that and there's been several books like The Secret and various other things where if you give yourself a lot of positive affirmations about things, you kind of sort of can will yourself into a better point in life where just by you have to be realistic. I mean, you can't just say, I'm going to win the lottery, because there's millions of people all across the country that haven't won that lottery yet. They do it all the time.
But it does. What you're saying does work. Because I was thinking tonight, man, I want to talk to some beautiful women tonight. And look, here I am.
Oh,
I'm trying to get on my tablet so I can see you guys better here.
So I think the manifestation thing, it is a thank you very much, Ben. It all can work, and it does work, and it's all about it's all about your mindset. So that's where my job comes in. That's where the work I do comes in. You can create your experience exactly how you want it if you have the right mindset. And so things
I
aren't going
just
to change. If
told
you
you.
move to a certain
I
town
just
and you
told you it
wipe it
works.
out, yeah, you can't wipe the town out, but you can wipe it out for your reality. Like you can be like, I don't ever want to think about freaking Baton Rouge ever again, and then you don't have to. And it's
I'm just
a
joking
reality.
about
So
that.
it's like a mind.
It's not
You
that bad.
create your experience. I just did it too. I know I just used it. I just went along with
Wait,
it.
what happened?
But yeah, I don't think that you can, do things that are going to affect other people in that way, like wipe out a whole town, but you can
No.
manifest your experience.
Yeah, you can. Like I said, I wanted to talk to beautiful women tonight. So here I am with Suzanne. And Jara's gone. And I'm talking to your partner too.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, she's back. So yeah, that's a lot. That was a lot. We just said a lot of stuff right now.
You can will stuff into happening.
Pretty much. It's
Yeah,
just
you can.
that, we don't, that the idea of being able to do that is suppressed. Where you can affect your own reality. I think I'm sure there's rules to it, of course, because if it's like interfering with someone else's idea of what they want to do, I don't think it works. But it's certainly, you can adjust your own destiny, I feel. If you not necessarily to go as far as like, if you think good thoughts, then great thing, good things will happen.
You're right.
It's it's something along those lines, though. It's not necessarily that we certainly haven't figured it out, that's for sure, or else everybody be doing it.
I think I know. I manifest people to turn evil and be mean. Oh, Susie.
Ooh, that's not a good thing.
No, it's not.
You can't do
I
that.
accidentally manifest bad things a lot. So I try not to say things because
Hey,
I'll be like,
it's complicated. It
hey,
takes
you know what,
Yeah.
y'all?
yes.
You know what
So
I want to tell y'all? I'm sorry
like
for cutting y'all.
What?
very specific things. I always say that, and they happen. So I try not to do that anymore.
I think if you always say that you're broke, you'll be broke.
Actually, I don't worry about money really anymore. And
No, I know, but I think
know.
the ones that work.
I think
that's
you're
one of the
right.
ones that's true.
Because I used to worry about money all the time, and then I never had money. I don't have a lot of money, but I just have what I need, which is perfect. That's all I need. So
That's it.
Right.
Everyone tries to be greedy with it, which means it's not going to work. Where you're like, I want $1 million, I want to win the lotto, I want to,
it works for some people. It works for a lot of people, Enzo, trying to have $1 billion. There's a lot of billionaires.
Well, they work to get to that, though, because they were using those,
and so
all of them do that?
Those baby steps to get it. Of course, there are some, of course, that just inherited money. I mean, that's different. But a lot of these people were, they started off low, and they just built up something that they believed in. Because it works for everybody.
I would never be able to have $1 billion.
Some of them just sold their soul to P. Diddy, and that's how they became millionaires.
Where is P. Diddy, anyways?
What happened with all that? I don't even know. Like, what? I thought I heard.
Dropped right out of the news, and nobody said a thing.
Hey, can I tell y'all something? Like, it's real shit, not no bullshit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I told y'all about my partner that was possessed, right?
Your what?
Yes.
My friend that was possessed, right?
No, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, remember, Jara? He told us.
Your friend?
Oh wait, he didn't tell us. Remember, he said he didn't like to talk about it.
I didn't hear it, and maybe some people in our audience didn't hear it. So
all right, so recap. I'm gonna do a short version of this story. So my brother and this was in the 90s.
I think I did hear this story. I think. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
My brother and his best friend got a Ouija board pushed on him by my mom. It was just my grandma. So they played the Ouija board, and the Ouija board told them what they wanted to hear. And then my brother saw this thing out the corner of his eye, and like stuff happened, and a succubus incident happened, and
what? What was that?
a
Succubus.
succubus incident happened to
What
him.
is that? I don't know what that is. I've heard that word
Is
before.
like a ghost that
So
bones you.
an incubus is a male ghost that will have sex with females, and a succubus is a female ghost that will have sex with males.
Oh, okay.
So that kind of incident happened. Well, I'm not gonna go into detail, but like stuff was happening, and all of a sudden she showed some sharp teeth, and he was like, "Fuck this, I'm out of here."
Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the Ouija board would tell him every single thing that they wanted to hear, right? So Ouija board was after my brother for whatever. Well, I kind of know what reason. Really, really strong willed. He's a doctor now. I
Right.
think y'all know this.
Yeah.
I told y'all this, right?
Yeah.
So his friend got possessed. Um, we were about a pond. We had a little bonfire, and he was talking in different languages and all that bullshit. And the dude, like we started saying the Lord's Prayer to get him out of it, and that pretty much worked. I mean, it's a lot more involved, and for us to know that he was not him. But I mean, I did tell y'all that before, right?
Right. You did. I heard the story on. I was listening to you were on Moggs's show, and I heard the story, and I told you that I heard it, and then I think we talked about it, but I don't know if you talked about it on our show.
Okay.
So Enzo might not know about it.
Oh, okay. Well, okay.
Yeah, but I heard it on Moggs. I was driving down to Tucson or somewhere, and I was listening to you guys.
So that guy was Enzo. That guy was not the smartest guy. He didn't know. His vocabulary was very limited. He was from a place called Jack Bay. It should tell you a lot. But I'm just joking about that. But so we were about 150 yards away from him, and so this guy was really known. Okay, his initials. Well, I call him RD. That's not his initials, but we might have called him really dumb, right?
Okay.
Oh no.
So
Not very nice.
no, I mean this was the 90s, right?
Okay.
So yeah, but we were across the pond, 150 yards away, and we'd whisper shit, and he would know exactly every fucking word that we say.
Oh.
Yeah. Demons, dude.
Yeah. Then he started talking a different language, and he started telling my brother, "Come take my hand." They were best friends. "Come take my hand, David." They were after my brother. Oh shit, I shouldn't say any names, but yeah, but come take my hand. And
That's scary.
yeah, it was pretty scary.
Yeah, that is really scary.
So we prayed, and then like he was like and another some asshole that was our friend, came and started talking about there's nothing wrong with you. And so okay, with the prayers and that, he snapped out of it. And he does not remember it.
Wow.
Yeah. And it lasted for a long time.
Oh, that scared me.
Oh, I gotta find.
I was like, oh.
Hey, y'all, hold up for a second. Let me go find an auxiliary source for my battery. My battery's about to die.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I'll be right back.
Yeah, that's I've heard the saying saying the Lord's Prayer or reading certain verses in the Bible will work with things like that. That's terrifying.
Yeah.
But I mean, according
know a
like
lot about
what I
these.
read in the book of Adam and Eve, like they're everywhere all the time, and they can change and they can look like whatever they want to look like to people, and they are invisible because it calls them the incorporeal, and so I had to look that up, and it means something that
Somebody
I'm
with
not.
no body.
Yep.
No, nobody.
Incorporeal. Yeah.
Yeah, incorporeal. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So,
No corpus.
Yeah.
Yep, nobody.
Yeah, and when it's talking about when he says that he's going to come back and he's going to be born in the city, he said he's called it it's like Gogliath or Gog something. So I had looked that up, and I guess that's Jerusalem. So I was like, oh.
Ooh, then isn't that where?
Oh,
So see there.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So I don't know. And then I'm a catastrophist, so I
don't like
believe
that. I don't like it when you keep saying that. I don't like you.
I know. I'm sorry.
I don't
can't
like
help
labels.
it. It's not. It's a okay. So it's a but everybody looks at it like it's wrong. I guess I look at it in a way that makes it like not. I feel like it's a cycle that happens on a regular basis, and I actually think God put the cycle in place so that people couldn't get too powerful before they gained the moral compass to because he didn't want them to wipe themselves out. That's what I think. But because it talks about the cycle in the divine. Well, he talks. Okay, so there's a guy that I listen to and follow, and I don't agree with everything that he says, but his chronology, I can't deny it because it's literally he offers all of his sources for everybody to look at. So how can you argue that when it's hundreds of books and all pointing to the same data and whatever? So anyway, what he terms his name is Jason Brashears, and he's with Archaics, and I like him because he doesn't embellish, he doesn't lie. If he doesn't know something, he says he doesn't know, but he's got all the data, and what he calls one of the cycles. So there's more than one cycle of like disasters that happen. There's the Phoenix cycle, which he believes is every 138 years. And then there's another cycle that comes where it involves what he calls the Nemesis X, which is another object that's in our sky that only comes around every 522 years, is what Jason says. Well, in the first, or in the book of Secrets of Enoch, when it's talking about the angels over the sun and how the mechanisms of the sun and the moon and all of that, it talks about two other bodies that come along with the sun sometimes, and it calls it Phoenix, and the other one it calls it I don't know how to pronounce it. It's like Chalkiri or something, but then it gives the number. It gives a number at the end of like when those come around, and it's 133 and then 523, and I was like, wow, that's pretty close to what Jason says. That's weird. That's a coincidence. So I don't know. And then you have all this stuff that you see that looks like there used to be stuff there, and now there's not anything there. There's no people and there's no explanation. It's just like,
I think we don't know any of that stuff. Oh, look, Jimmy Blanton too. Okay, come on. Go ahead, Enzo. Say what you were going to say.
That story is actually very similar to the story from Zachariah Stitchin with Planet X, which Nibiru, all of these things, and the Anunnaki, and on there and all that. That's there's.
He actually is very against those guys. He's very, very, very.
Why is his story so close?
It's not because he has his data. Like he shows the chronology, and he says that they are not telling the truth. That they have to know the same things that he knows, because they have to, and the way that they are being selective about the information that they're telling people in order to fit it into the narrative they're telling. He says that they are purposely ignoring and not sharing information that and he has asked them to actually debate him like publicly, and they won't. So I don't know. That says a lot to me, Zachariah.
Perfect timing.
Huh?
Jimmy knows a lot. Don't you know a lot about the Bible, Jimmy?
Know quite a bit about the Bible.
I think so, right? Yeah, so perfect. I'm so glad you showed up. Everybody, welcome Jimmy to the show. He's from what is the podcast called?
It's biblical.
Called.
I've changed it so much. It was People at the Tales of Terror, but it's I've changed it to
Tales of Terror.
Biblical Cryptid Realm.
That's cool. That's a cool name, Jimmy.
Well, I just got saved and started going to church and dug real deep down in the Bible, and through research, I've uncovered quite a bit of things that go with the cryptid narrative and can be found in the Bible. A lot of clues that I'm not saying, that it's kind of like 100% fact, but things line up. And, even your average everyday person that doesn't consider themselves a big researcher or have much thought into the process of doing this anyways, when you add 2 and 2 together, it to me that says something. So it just got me even deeper into it all. So I've got some pretty interesting things that made me think, and I just wanted to share with other folks, and hopefully to make them think too.
Can you give us one? Give us an example of one of the things that you discovered when you were doing your study, your research?
Well, a lot of folks, when it comes to giants in the Bible, in Genesis 6, a lot of folks know Genesis chapter 6, verse 4, where it talks about that there were giants in the earth in those days, and after they took women as their wives, and that's how the Nephilim were born. You can't say for certain. Everything adds up, but to me, the creatures that they talk about that are in mythology, your satyrs, which are half goat, half man creatures, vampires, supposed giant vampire bats. You've got Bigfoot, supposedly Bigfoot is a part human, part monkey thing, or a Gigantopithecus, which I don't believe so much that route of being Gigantopithecus. I believe those creatures are remnants of the Watcher Angels sinning against man and animal in the verses in the Bible. They were taking DNA from different animals and mixing it with human beings. And I believe that's where the satyr, the minotaur, all these creatures that were half men, I believe that's what they actually are. They're a byproduct of the sin that was supposedly committed against man and animal, the mingling of DNA.
And wasn't that don't some people say that was the Anunnaki that did that?
Yeah, the Anunnaki are basically supposedly I guess you could say the fallen angels. It's a lot of down through history. I'm sorry, guys. I got a puppy here in my lap.
Oh.
What kind of dog you got, buddy?
He's actually about 8 months old. He's what we call a mini pit. He's not full-blooded pit, but he's very, very little for his size. He has the same body structure, that big Betty booty as them Pitts is known for, and them hind legs and stuff. And but I love him. His name's Oreo. He's a good boy. He's very, very, very smart.
That's cool.
But the Anunnaki, or basically to me, from what I gather and the way I read in research, the Anunnaki could be the fallen angels, and supposedly the Anunnaki were the ones that started all this, Earth, human beings.
You think they were the gods of old?
It could be referred to in the same thing as that, because you got to put yourself in a mindset from back during those times.
Mm-hmm.
What they called these fiery chariots could have been some type of technology.
It could have been a flying saucer, right?
Exactly. And
Could have been.
You got to try to put yourself in the mindset. They didn't have a wide range of vocabulary like we do now. They used those type of things. Seeing a UFO in the sky to them was, we would compare it to
a wheel within a wheel, right?
Exactly. And you got to think the angels that are talked about in the Bible, there are certain types of angels, and one of them supposedly was this wheel of eyes that had like 6 to 8 wings.
Yeah.
So they didn't word it in their time from the vocabulary that they had. But a lot of people don't think. They think that the Bible is just like, everything is perfect in the Bible. Don't get me wrong. That's not what I'm saying. Is you just got to get in the mindset of the way they were back then. They would see fireballs, these fiery chariots. I believe they were actually spacecraft. But I believe in these so-called warriors, men of renown. I believe they were basically the same thing.
I told my husband the other day that I feel like, because I like to work with wood, and I've been de-rocking my backyard, and I think I found fossils in my yard, but I told him that I think if I would have lived back during biblical times, I would have been really good at building altars.
Oh yeah.
I was like, I bet I would have been a good altar builder.
Why do you say
alive
that?
in biblical times, you'd have been burned at the stake.
Right. Yeah,
why
you
do
would
I
have,
say
dude.
that?
Yeah, why do you say you're
Because
what?
I feel, I don't know. I would have picked, I don't know. I just feel like I would have been good at it.
Yeah, you would have. You
really
definitely would be
cool
good at
stones
anything
in
you
my
want.
yard.
Yeah.
I have found the coolest rocks in my yard, you guys. I feel like there's like fossils in my yard or something, or like pieces of a cave, like painting or something, because I've never seen rock like some of the rock that I've dug out of my yard. And I'm Mod Podging them all so they look wet still, and they're all different color. I don't even know, like there's a face in one of my rocks. It's kind of like Jesus, but not really. He's more like a rocker guy.
Shut up. Like the toast, like the Virgin Mary and the toast thing.
So
Yeah.
maybe Lane Staley, maybe
what?
Lane Staley.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
Really? Oh,
No.
come on. Nobody knows who that is.
I'm not a good music person though. Susie should know. She's the song lyric lady.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
Alice in Chains.
I'm pretty sure I found a tooth too, and it's like this big.
Okay. Now I see what you're saying. Okay, the lead singer,
Oh, Susie,
right?
you have that?
No.
Susie, do you have that picture of the
No.
tooth I sent? Did I send that to you guys?
You didn't send it
That
to me.
rock that I found? Oh, I thought I texted it to you guys. Oh.
Hey, but I wanted to tell y'all earlier. Remember right before my phone died, I told you about. How far did I go into the possession? I think I told y'all all about the little possession shit, right?
Yeah, you told us
think we got
about
it.
the praying and then it went. That stopped it, and then
Yep.
you're fine.
I didn't talk to this dude in a long ass time. All right. This dude called me today.
What?
This dude called me
Whoa,
today. Yeah.
Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh,
That's
dude. That trips me
crazy.
out a little bit.
What?
Dude, no way.
I'm
I'm
telling.
sorry.
Yeah.
I am telling you.
No.
Huh.
Just like y'all didn't see me in a while, I didn't see him in a while.
That's
So
weird.
yes,
That
it
is
is.
weird.
That is weird.
Yes,
I'm
it is.
sorry. That's gonna weird me out for the night.
Well, I'm sorry.
Wow. No, it's okay.
So this
That's
dude
all right.
called me today, and we were
And
talking.
today you're talking about it.
I'm
Yes.
so like I have this thing, right, where I have this weird paranoia thing where like I told Susie this.
You
Where I
told me
feel,
Jesus.
and I've had dreams about this before. Like I had this dream once that these angels came to me and they told me not to fly because they didn't want that demons were looking for me and they didn't want them to know that I was different. And so they took me to this apartment. And like one of the angels was that tall, like nerdy guy that's in that movie Tooth Fairy with The Rock. He was one of the angels. But I have this weird
Oh,
like
real?
paranoia thing that like I don't know, like that somebody invisible and evil is looking for me. And so that's why that
Could
weirds
be,
me
'cause
out.
you're special, dude.
Huh?
You're special. They are looking for you. You are. I think they've been looking
Don't
for you
say that.
forever, like all of your life.
Don't
Because
say
you
that.
are.
Fucking,
There's
she's
something
fucking with
about
you,
you that
Couillon.
is like.
No, she's not. She's being serious.
Really?
There's something
I
about
think
her
she's
that's
being serious.
very extraordinary, and I think there's just something behind it. I don't know what.
Jara is very, very extraordinary.
I was given up
Yeah.
for adoption and they did lie and put somebody else's name in the newspaper. So, I don't know why that happened.
Her birth, the story around her birth is a mystery. That's another thing that adds to it. Like there's a lot of mystery there.
You could. All right.
As far as entities coming after you, Jara can take care of Jara.
Oh,
if
yeah.
they were,
I know
if they were
that
going to
nothing
make a
can hurt
move,
me.
they'd have done it already. So
Right.
you're fine.
I know that nothing can hurt
You're
me.
good. You're
I
good,
just
Jara.
I think that I feel like I don't know. I feel like there's like something that's waited to see choices I made or something. And I think that I've made the right ones because I feel like I can't be touched by like
You
that.
can't. She's untouchable, you guys.
But
She's
I feel like that.
untouchable.
But
Nothing
me.
evil can.
But I feel like stuff can touch things
Like-
around me.
Don't say that.
So I just don't like. I don't know. I wish sometimes I could just be. I don't know. I
A
feel
lot
like I need to hide or
A
something.
lot of folks who have
it is easier to be normal for sure. But
Right? I wish I could be normal. That'd be great. Actually, I like being weird, man. I like being weird.
Yeah, I don't want to
Who's
be normal. What were
normal?
you saying,
embrace
Jimmy?
it.
There's nobody over here on this show that's normal, right?
Right.
Oh no.
Well, what
There's
is
nobody
normal?
in real life that's normal. So normal to somebody is just who they are, right?
Right. Right.
So I
Yeah,
mean,
there's no such
shit,
thing.
I'm so happy to talk to all of y'all because we are a bunch of people that are not normal.
Mhm.
Yep.
That's what I said.
I'm okay with that.
Because we
We
are
all-
authentic
That we
people.
hold space for everybody, no matter how abnormal you
And
are.
we have differing ideas, and we're not fighting each other. We're not trying to figure
Right.
out where you live and dox you with your boss at your work or any of that nonsense.
Oh,
that you see,
And I don't, because I don't
judgment.
know anything. Who am I to tell anybody that what they believe is
No,
wrong?
we're
Because
just
I don't
sharing
know.
Right.
yeah.
Right?
You know, I feel authentic happiness talking to y'all.
Yeah.
Great. Well, that's
Nice
good.
plug there.
Yep. That was the whole
That's
point.
what we wanted.
So
And honestly, I think that's if you're authentic, I think that you're doing the right thing ultimately.
Yeah, I
So,
think that if you're authentic, that no evil can get you because it puts you at such
I mean-
a high vibration that you don't vibrationally bad things
unless you're like
happening to you.
authentically chopping up people or something. Don't do that.
No, I'm an authentic guy. Like
What do
like
y'all think you have to talk to
you,
people about
There's
that?
what you see is what you get constantly. I mean, I'm the same dude constantly. I'm an authentic guy.
So how was your chat with your friend? Did you guys catch up?
Yeah,
Is he-
yeah, it was
is he
great.
okay? Is
We
he
shared
calm?
music. We shared
That's
music,
good.
and he told me something that he told my brother, but so he had this almost damn. I feel like I said this before.
Ooh,
But
deja vu.
yeah, wow, that's crazy. But he had this almost like a sleep paralysis thing, but
Oh,
I didn't say this before, right?
I think we have talked about sleep paralysis once, I think. But keep
No,
going.
I just got this information today.
Oh,
So
then no. Then no.
so he says
Haven't got
that
it today
he
yet.
saw something. He saw something that was blacker than black. Like I said, so you're talking about like something that like sucks in all the light? He said, no, it's like a digital black.
Hmm.
And he was paralyzed, and he told me it was the same thing from the Ouija board.
wow.
He asked me
told
the
you what?
name. It was the same thing from the Ouija board. He asked me the name of it because he didn't remember. So I told him the entity, and he said it a bunch of times. And I
Oh
was
my
like, bro,
gosh.
don't fucking do that. And he said it a couple of times. I don't understand why, you know, he would
That's
do that,
weird.
but he did it. But then we had a fucking great conversation after that.
That's weird, Ben. Wow. That's
creepy.
freaking weird, man. Dude, that's weird.
People
That's
don't
weird.
just like say that shit.
They don't just call you out of
Willy-nilly.
nowhere after that many years either and just say something like that. That's freaking weird, man.
Experience
so-
that throughout the world constantly, every day.
That is weird. Now I'm scared.
They say it's a phenomenon. I believe it's an actual entity that causes this. They want to brush it off and say, well, it's just the body. It's just this. It's just no. There's more to it than just that. There has to be some type of entity. And I know good folks who researched that phenomenon, and they say that it's how can you just brush it off like that and just tell someone, oh, it's you're fine. It's just all in your head.
Wait, well, what are you referring to, buddy?
A lot of how people talk about in the phenomenon, how non-believers that have never experienced that will say, oh, it's just all in your head, but it's not.
No, it's
Well,
not.
that's not all in his head. He had a friend
Yeah.
that he hasn't talked to since the 90s who
that's
was
crazy.
possessed from a Ouija board, and that friend just called him today and asked him to remind him of the name of the entity, and then he said it over and over again. That shit is fucking weird.
That is weird as shit. Now that you put it like that,
Right?
yeah.
Yeah,
That
weird.
shit is weird.
that story is rekindled now. It's
Right.
Mhm.
And then you
Oh,
put that
Lord.
together. You now let me make it weirder for you. You put that together with the fact that I have been reading the Apocrypha, right? And I was just talking to Susie earlier about Satan and this and that, and we haven't talked to Ben in a long time. And that guy called Ben today, and then now Ben's on our show right now. And he's saying all this to me while in my mind, inside myself, that nobody knows about, just me and God, right? In my mind, I'm like sitting here thinking all this stuff about Satan and demons, and like I'm kind of worried about it. And then this happens. That shit's weird. That's weird. There's no way to like do that. Nobody can fake that. That is some invisible people
Exactly.
knowing what everybody's doing. Shit going on right there. That's what that is.
Yeah, because I think that we shouldn't talk about it
That's
that like
weird.
because we're giving it more.
Well, I
That's
didn't
weird.
say the name
We're
of it, you know.
remanifesting the whole thing.
Yeah, don't no.
I'm not,
Because,
I'm not gonna. I know better than that.
Woo. I'm
I
gonna
know
read
better
the
than that.
Bible as soon as I get off the show. That's gonna make me religious. I'm not a religious person, but when you start scaring me, man, that's a different story. I'll start praying all the time. I'll start fasting, whatever. I
not-
don't know. However
That's
you.
not enough to make me religious.
Well, it is. It's enough for me. I'm like, yes, sir, God, sir, absolutely, sir.
I'm not religious.
Yeah, I might believe in God, but I'm not religious.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, I believe
I'm
in
not
God.
religious.
I'm
No,
not
I'm not religious. I would never be religious.
Man,
But I'm afraid of God for sure. That's the only thing that I'm afraid of is God.
That's the way it should be.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What you think, Enzo?
Well, I mean, your friend's calling you up out of the blue and doing that. Wow, that's pretty amazing.
That's
but
no bullshit, bro.
I believe you. I never crap on anybody's personal experiences for sure. That's the one thing that's like a cardinal rule with me. It's like, something you experienced, I'm going to take you at your word. However, I am troubled that your friend was constantly repeating that name over and over and over again.
Yeah, I don't understand, bro. So, okay. So, he's not the smartest guy. Like I said, we used to call him really dumb. I mean, he's done the stupidest shit forever. So, wow. It's just me and you, buddy.
We got this.
Yeah.
It's all right. We
Hey
got it.
guys, I'm gonna have to get off. If you guys are still on, I'll come back on, but I have to go inside
Okay.
with my mom. But I'll come. I'll see if
We're
you guys
probably
are
gonna
still
talk
on
a little bit
when
longer.
Noah gets in. Okay, I'll check back with
All
you.
right.
Good
Okay,
night, guys. It was good talking to you guys. If I don't get to
Bye.
come back, I'll try to come back though. Good night.
Bye. I miss you.
You love her. Okay, so yeah, that's a lot of creepy
I guess
stuff
we
that
know what
talked
Ben's
about.
manifesting right now. But
Bye, Jara.
Bye, Jared.
Bye, Jara.
She's the best.
No, I'm just messing with her. But yeah, man, that's crazy.
So how long do you think till you hear from that friend of yours again? I'm concerned about him to dredge up all of this many years later.
After this happened, he called me later today. We shared songs and shit that we knew each other would like, because we grew up together as we almost like brother.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So I talked to him a little while ago, and I'll probably talk to him tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. That's funny. That's crazy. But you know what?
Well,
you don't have to give that part
we
of
said
the
hey,
conversation.
and it only has the power over him that he gives it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't think he realizes that. So, yeah.
You might have to explain it to him.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all gotta go.
We're going to talk a little bit more. Do you have any more cool
go.
things to say, Ben?
Not really.
No. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know a lot about demons or the evil stuff because I make it a point really not to. But because there's a reason why I don't know. I feel like there's a reason why I'm kept away from that. I think I'm divinely guided and protected in a lot of ways about that stuff, and thank God I am, because I don't want any of that, So
Yeah.
it's cool. So I try not to know that much about it, but maybe I should inform myself more about what could happen.
Along a similar lines, did you happen to hear last week about? Do you remember the kid and his family in Las Vegas that said there were like 9-foot tall aliens in his
Yes,
backyard?
absolutely.
Yeah.
That wasn't last week. That was like months ago.
Well, it was like a year and a half ago that it originally happened.
Yeah,
But
you're right.
there was a story last week, a follow up
That is real.
that they are moving out of that house because ever since then they have had poltergeist type activity in their
No
home.
shit. No shit.
Wow.
They shared a story where they had a crucifix in the house. The kid walks into the room. The crucifix is just hanging in midair, upside down,
Ooh.
and the little figure of Jesus was ripped off of it and thrown in the floor.
Wow.
Oh my God.
And as because it's literally just floating in the midair as he described, and as he went up to it, it drops to the floor. But they've had a lot of stuff getting thrown around in the house with no visible signs of something acting on it, poltergeist type stuff.
Yeah, yeah. But poltergeist type stuff is a little bit.
They are moving out of the house. They're moving somewhere else. They're not telling anybody where they're going. They have had it. Whatever wackiness is going on there, they are done with it.
Yeah, man. Wow. God, man. I did not know that.
Yeah, it was in the news last week. You want to look back that far, but because I was going to talk about it on another show, but I couldn't because I had tornadoes in my area and I was concerned about that. But
what, you in Oklahoma?
I'm in Kansas. So.
Kansas? Yeah.
Yep. But that's something that's super weird. That crossover of seeing 9-foot tall aliens. Oh, and they also released a different video. It was one of the other kids. There was like 4 kids in the backyard when they originally saw the aliens right before they called the 911.
Yeah.
And they go into the backyard area where it's like a gravel area and there was a forklift, and that's where they saw the aliens snooping around there. You can clearly see some weird shadow from something. Like across the fence from where they were, almost like it was like peeking over the fence at them.
Oh,
it's weird. It's super weird. I can't quite explain it myself, but all of those do. That's the other thing is if you look closely at it, if you research it and look at the video, all of those dudes are packing. They all had guns on their hips.
Yeah, dude.
They shouldn't have been scared of shit, and they're like, "Fuck this! Call 911. There's fucking aliens back here."
Yeah. Dude, I work with some crazy ass dude who was in the military for a while, and he said that he saw a 9-foot tall alien laying on the ground, and I have no reason to doubt him. He is not a lying guy. He does not lie about shit like that. So he was like, yeah, I saw this alien laying on the ground, and we wasn't allowed to go close to him. But, we were 30 yards away, and we saw this thing. And I was just like, wow. I mean, this told me this shit last week.
Whoa. Well, yeah, they know about it. I think a lot of them know about it. And so do you know something about those? Do you have secret information?
I do not have secret information. I tell you most of my secrets, but it is certainly curious about those folks there in Las Vegas. With the original story, because a lot of people poo-pooed it right away because the one kid that was kind of like the center of the whole thing, the young teen, he had sold like so some of those like virtual stock kind of things, I forget what they're called, that had alien stuff in it. So Pokemons. He was like, no, not Pokemon.
Like
well,
propping it up
I see where you're going. It's NRT. Oh, what is it called? Anyways, he was trying to get stuff started with his own little alien thing like a couple of years before that.
Really? I didn't know
So
that.
a lot of people are like, all right, this kid's just trying to sell his alien crap. And a lot of people poo-pooed it. But if you look at the video,
Mm.
you know, the when the police showed up, because they did release quite a bit of actually a surprising amount of police footage, you know, from their body cams.
Yeah, I saw that.
When they arrived on the scene, they were genuinely frightened. You know, not just the kid. If it was just the kid that was trying to do something to spruce up his NFT stuff with aliens shit on it,
Fungible.
but it was like, you know, the mom and the dad and, you know, the other kids were like in a total panic. They're like, you gotta come in here. There's something crazy going on in our backyard.
Yeah.
And so they seem to be genuinely scared. Now, does that mean they were all in on it and telling a crazy story just for what? It's not like they've been pushing this kid's NFT out there more or trying to get money from it somehow or anything like that. Because none of that happened. It was a year and a half ago. And now all of a sudden they're like, there's a story of these dudes going like, there's demons or something in this house. We're getting the fuck out. You know, we're getting the hell out of here.
You notice like a lot of alien and like a lot of Bigfoot shit and a lot of ghost shit is like the same shit.
It is. That's why I think it's all related. It's all kind of the same thing going on. It's just whether it's a trickster type entity just messing with people, or it's something else that's trying to communicate in this weird way to us, but it certainly comes across as super scary because we don't understand it. Maybe, I don't know. There's because there are certainly places in this world where you have all of those things happening in the same day. You've got your Skinwalker Ranch, you got your Mount Shasta, you got various triangle type places all over the country and the world where you get cryptid, UFO, and ghost type activity all happening within a very small radius of each other. You can't tell me that that's three different things all happening at the same time that just are independent of each other. That's doesn't even make sense to me.
Yeah,
there's something else going on there.
Yeah, something's going on.
Yeah.
So Susie, you need to go.
What? No, I don't need to go.
Okay. Hey, bro, Enzo, where the hell are you?
I have a lot of my own. Huh?
I was asking Enzo, where is he with all this shit in the background?
Well, this is actually a live feed out of St. John's, Virgin Islands.
It's a live feed. I got you, brother. I got you.
This is you can't see it because of the Awakening logo thing, but the ocean is right here, and there's boats and stuff and all that. But I'm actually located just outside of Wichita, Kansas.
I hear you, buddy. I hear you. Yeah, you did say that about the tornadoes and shit.
Yeah, last weekend was fun. It's springtime in Kansas. That means random tornado things, which being a native Kansans now, because I've lived here for so long, when you hear the sirens go off, the first thing you do is you grab your phone and run outside and start filming the sky. You don't take cover. You try and catch that thing on video.
What'd you do, Susie?
What did I do last week?
What would you do?
Oh, if I saw a tornado, go in the cellar.
Yeah, that's what I would do too.
Don't get me wrong. I have a basement.
I would get my pets and go in the cellar. Then I'd be good. That's it.
I have an old Kevlar helmet that I put on, the whole spiel for when the real deal happens, and I've only had to do that once.
Yeah.
But,
really?
I've seen
what do you put on?
3 tornadoes since I've lived here. It's I have a big sturdy workbench down in my basement along the western wall, which would be if there's a giant tornado coming through, it comes from southwest to northeast is normally how they travel.
Really?
And the ugly ones do.
Okay.
And I have an old I have a Kevlar helmet with the goggles on where I can like crawl underneath of this workbench and just sit there and wait for my ears to pop and go, yep, this is going to be bad. And wait, hopefully afterwards look up and still not see sky. And meaning everything above me is gone. But
there's air pressure changes.
Oh yeah, it really is. We had actually had one that it wasn't a full-blown tornado, but there was certainly rotation in it as it passed over my house, where I felt the pressure change. Where it was, I had this like wobbly feeling from the pressure change.
Damn.
And there's a tree in my backyard that, like 3 or 4 limbs that are like the taller limbs in the top of the tree look like someone just grabbed them and twisted them around and then snapped them off.
Wow.
So it was
and
it did form an actual tornado like a mile east of me.
Wow.
So that was in the middle of the night. That's the thing is when the stuff hits at night, there's no storm spotters out there that can say, verify it and all that shit. It's ugly.
Yeah, well, it's not worth a buck if it hits at night. You know what? Being in South Louisiana, bro, only thing like we got
hurricanes.
Yes, sir. But
hurricanes.
We know for a long, we know when they come.
For a few days, yeah.
We know. Y'all don't know. That sucks.
You don't. They could just come out of nowhere, right? Like really quick.
A tornado? Absolutely.
Yeah. A tornado? Yes. It'll just there's some incredible footage from last weekend up in Nebraska that you can find online where it looks like something out of a movie. It just looks so amazing. And what's crazy is it kind of does whatever the hell it wants. It doesn't. Once that thing starts spiraling down and it just starts slicing into the ground and stuff like that, where you'll have a house that'll be totally disintegrated and the house right next door will have hanging plants on the front porch that don't even move. It is bananas.
Wow.
How crazy that stuff can get.
That is crazy. And I'm talking, I was looking at some of the footage.
It makes for thrilling times, though.
Yeah. It's like flat the whole area. Like I saw some footage of damage.
It erases whole sections of the town.
Actually, destroys it.
It basically, if it's above the ground level, it's gone. There was actually some pretty amazing stories if you want to Google Joplin, Missouri, a couple of years ago, where they had a big tornado rip through Joplin and it just disintegrated whole neighborhoods. But there were these stories that came out afterwards of butterfly people, where these angel type entities that had like big butterfly wings, and they would fold their wings over the children that were hiding in the wreckage and stuff like that and would protect them.
Really?
Yeah. Look up Joplin, Missouri, and butterfly people. You'll find.
Well, I can't call bullshit on that because I've seen crazier shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there are people there's somebody out there that's watching out for the little guy. So
thank God for butterfly people.
That's it.
Thank God for that.
Protecting those little kids.
I like it. I love that story. All right. That was fun. I like that. I like being able to share stuff, crazy stuff, without somebody talking shit,
No, I'm not gonna ever talk no shit. I
got too many facts in my head for shit.
Well, that's cool, guys. I guess we'll get off. It's been a while. It's been a long time already. So I guess it's time to turn it off. So is joining us for the first time,
Yes,
please
ma'am.
like and subscribe and share with your friends. And join us next week. Have a really good rest of your week. And Ben, thank you so much for taking the time to just get on tonight. It was so good to see you again.
Ben.
You're very welcome,
so glad.
Susan. You're very welcome.
And Jimmy too. I want to thank Jimmy and Enzo as always, man.
Thank you,
You
Enzo.
always
You're a
bring it
good
all together
guy,
for
bud.
us. He is, dude. He really is. So thank you so much, you guys. I like to say good night. So good night, you guys. Night, Enzo.
No one ever sees me, I'm losing every battle. No one ever sees